Hey YouTube fam, what's up? It's Patrick. As always, thank you so much for joining me for these practices. For today's session, all you're going to need is yourself and your mat. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, new videos every week, new practices coming your way. And after you finish this session, let me know how it went in the comments. Let's get started in child's pose today. Close your eyes, take a moment, come into your introverted space. Let yourself sink down. Find a softness to this moment. Find a quality to your inhale, your pause, and your exhale. This is going to be a crafty little sequence. It's going to be a fun one to kind of move around and meander through. And I hope you have some fun with it. Take 2 more breaths here. Let yourself really settle down. Try to feel some gentle stretch into your top hip points. Let your breath find a freedom. Let your body find a feeling. On your next inhale, go ahead and pull yourself forward onto hands and knees and draw 2 clockwise circles. So sweeping over to the right, 1 and 2, and then sweep over to the left counterclockwise, 1 and 2, and then draw 2 clockwise figure eights, 1, 2, and then 2 counterclockwise figure eights, 1 and 2. Now that the wrists feel warmed up, go ahead and flip the hands so the fingers point back towards the knees. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, curve the chest out, open your heart. And then exhale, round into your upper back body. Inhale, curve the chest out, open your heart. And exhale, round into your upper back body. Inhale, curve the chest out, open. Exhale, round in. You can have some buoyancy in the elbows here if it feels good to you. Inhale, curve the chest out. And exhale, round yourself in. On your next inhale, return to neutral. Flip your hands to their normal rotation. Let them find a symmetrical landing place. And then lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. As you get there, feel free to bend the knees, wiggle out the hips. Find a bit of freedom in this space. Let your hands grip the floor. Push through the thumbs a little bit more as you tilt your tailbone up to the sky. And get long through your spine. Take 2 breaths here. Find some stability. And on your next inhale, lift heels, bend knees. Wave yourself forward to plank pose. And roll back into downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward into plank pose. And exhale, roll back into your downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, roll forward into your plank pose. And exhale, sweep back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. And on the exhale, step your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Rise onto your fingertips. Pull yourself forward. Lift the chest up. Breathe here. Push down into your right big toe. Stretch your left heel back in space. Feel, some opening through your legs. And then plant your palms down flat. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky as you bend the right knee. On the exhale, drive the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Hop onto your fingertips again here. Stretch your right heel back as you pull your chest forward. Let the breath fill the body here. See if you can elevate the collarbones, upright your posture, and notice how that creates more depth in the stretch. Plant your palms back down. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward into your plank pose and roll right into a variation of your upward facing dog. So be buoyant in the elbows on the transition. And know that it doesn't have to be your biggest version, just one for now. Exhale, sweep back into downward facing dog. Push into the palms here. Look forward. Lift heels, bend knees. We're going to move right into our awakening yoga Surya A. So step or float feet to the outsides of your hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend. Step or float back through your vinyasa. So moving through the push-up, pulling yourself forward on upward facing dog. And exhale, sweeping back into downward facing dog. Again, drive through the palms, feel strength in the hands, look forward, lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet to the outsides of your hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up. Exhale, sit your hips down. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend, your vinyasa. Use your breath to not only help you build strength in the body, but build connection to each movement along the way. All right, stick with me on this. We're going to begin to explore some unique stuff. So inhale, lift your right leg up, bend your left knee. And on your exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. As it lands, pick your right hand up, thread your left leg through the gap between right foot and left hand, stretch it forward, and then swing your left leg to the back of the mat, rise into your high lunge. Reach through the fingers, get as tall as possible here. Breathe in, see if you can really stretch your pinkies up to the space behind your head. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. And notice on these lunges, your feet will be wide. That's perfect. Don't overthink it. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. On the exhale, drive the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. As the foot lands, you float the left hand, drive the right knee into the chest, and sweep the right foot through. Holding your space here for a moment, engaging the core, and then swing your right leg back through, rising into your high lunge position. Engage the core again, reach through the fingers. Think about having a slight back bend here as you lift the heart. Breathe into some more open space, some more elevated space. On your exhale, hands to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, wave into your plank pose. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. Keeping the sequence going, we'll repeat that action we just took. So inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, or that little sequence. On your exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lift the right hand up, swing the left leg through. Kick the left foot towards the sky this time, and then swing the left foot back through the gap, rising into your high lunge position. Reach up through the hands, see if you can get a little bit taller here. Let breath fill your chest, stretch through your fingers. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left foot up to the sky. On your exhale, swing it to the outside of the left hand. Drive your right knee into the chest as the left hand floats, and then kick your right foot up as high as possible here. Sweep the right foot back through, stepping into your high lunge. Reach through the fingers, create some height. Breathe into your lower belly and really allow yourself to be a bit more elevated in your position in this space. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. Push into the palms. Inhale, wave forward into your plank pose. On the exhale, take the push-up lower and rise. Knees and forearms drop. Inhale, pull yourself through into upward facing dog. And exhale, meander back into downward facing dog. Same work, we'll add on a few pieces this time. Inhale, the right leg lifts. On the exhale, right foot to outside of right hand. Try to stay on your right big toe this time, keeping the heel lifted. Thread your left leg through, kick it up as high to the ceiling as possible, and then swing your left leg back in space. Finding high lunge. Reach through your fingers, allow yourself a little bit more lift through your lower belly, and then open into your warrior two. Notice how much range and availability you have in your stance here. Breathe through your fingertips and keep sinking the right knee forward. Anchor through the outer edge of your left foot. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. On the exhale, sweep that foot to the outside of your left hand. Only let the left big toe land as you float the left hand up. Kick your right foot towards the sky, and then swing your right foot back through. finding your high lunge. Use the inhale to get long through the fingers, lifting through the lower belly. Open into your warrior two. And again, notice how you have more space here. You can adjust the position. Because your feet aren't on a tightrope, it allows you a little bit of freedom to play into the pose, to find a new perspective, to find a new framework, to find a new aim. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, wave into your plank pose. And then move through your push-up into your vinyasa. Feel every part of your body more and more connected to the practice. Keeping the flow going here, we'll repeat that round. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot to outside of right hand. Stay on the big toe. Swing the left leg through. Kick it towards the ceiling. Swoop the left foot to the back of the mat. Find your high lunge. Inhale, rise. Open into warrior two. You're beginning to feel the flow. Hands to the floor. Finding your mat space. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot to outside of left hand. Swing the right leg through. Try to keep the left heel lifted as you kick your right foot towards the sky. And then take your right foot all the way to the back edge of the mat. Inhale, rise into your high lunge. Reach through the fingers just a bit more. And then open into your warrior two. Again, finding the flow. Not quite fast, not quite slow, just somewhere in between. Hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep into your plank pose. Move through the vinyasa. Last round here. Take it where you need to. Take it how you need to. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot to outside of right hand. Swing the left leg through. Kick the foot up towards the sky as much as possible. And then sweep the left foot to the back of the mat. Rising into your high lunge. Open into warrior two. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Exhale, lean out as far as you can towards your side angle pose. Inhale, reverse. Reach your right arm up and back in space. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, downward, facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot to outside of left hand. Right leg swings through and kicks up towards the ceiling as high as possible. And then sweep your right foot back in space. Rise into high lunge using your inhale. Sink deeper on your exhale. Use your inhale to open into warrior two. Sink deeper on your exhale. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, lean your left shoulder out past your left knee as much as possible, finding your extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Stretch your left arm up and back in space. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward. Facing dog, push into the palms. Inhale, wave out into your plank pose. Find the vinyasa. Journey back into downward facing dog. 2 rounds of awakening A. Let's see how they feel different from those first 2 that we took. So drive through the palms, really grip through your fingers. Lift heels, bend knees, step or float feet to the outsides of your hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down. Inhale, hands to the floor, elbows bend, your vinyasa. Let your breath really embody the journey. Root into the hands, last round here. Feel the grip, feel the trust, feel the energy. Lift heels, bend knees, spring. Find a lightness in your landing, whether you're stepping, floating, or teleporting. Rising into your active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sit your hips all the way down. Inhale, hands to the floor, elbows bent, your vinyasa. As you find downward facing dog, inhale, lift your right leg up and bring your right shin forward, pigeon pose. take a moment, let your breath settle here. So if you made it to this point, you'll definitely know that we really cooked it up. We brought a good energy into this practice straight away, and now you want to feel the benefits of your efforts by allowing yourself the opportunity to kind of marinate in a place of stillness. So in your pigeon pose, again, you can always stay upright as I am here. You can lean out if you want. You could take this into Sukhasana or even a reclined pigeon pose. Let your breath be simple, calm, and stable. In my recovery process right now, I'm working through some really challenging physical movements for my right leg especially. And one of the things I always have to remind myself of is the exhale. And I always do my very best to have a 5 count exhale. So I find that moment of pause after the inhale. And on the exhale, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that little breathing technique or mindset, however you want to, frame it, if you will, it makes the pain and the pressure of the moment go away. And so it's allowing your body that subtle amount of relaxation, even though it's going through something challenging. And while we're past the moment of challenge here, the aim is to be able to relax into the stretch, into the space. And the best way to do that is to allow your exhale to, kind of take you there. Last breath here. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to venture to side 2, so you can do that any way you choose. I'm going to step back to downward facing dog and then swing my left shin forward into pigeon pose. Really work to find the tension. One funny thing you'll often hear, especially if you're talking about your yoga practice with someone that's never done it before, they're like, oh, I'd want to do that, but I'm not flexible. And the funniest thing about that to me is if you're not flexible, one of the nice things is you don't have to really overcomplicate the poses to feel the sensation. So you can just, find a nice soft space, and once you find that line of tension, you're like, okay, I'm perfect. And again, that could be really high up, or it could be really deep into the shape. There's such a blend of physicality that comes into any of these positions in any of these moments. And so the more that you practice, it's kind of like the more it requires, to find those lines of tension and to move through them or to learn to work with them. It just becomes more complicated, and you also become more versed. So you have more answers and, also more questions, which is interesting. But for anybody that's new, you can always tell them, well, that's actually one of the best places to be because you can do the poses in a really simple way and feel the same benefit. So if you have somebody that's on the fence about trying the practice in any way, shape, or form, that little bit of encouragement really goes a long way. Take your time here. You have about 3 more breaths. Bring a good energy, calm energy to your exhale. Finding these calmer moments in our practice. Slowly bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Step your left foot back into downward facing dog. We'll all meet there this time, but we're going to go directly onto the back. So if you do happen to be in a reclined position, stay there. Look forward, lift heels, bend knees. Your journey onto your back body. As your feet land, one last active pose today. A nice symmetrical bridge pose. Push the heels down, roll the shoulders underneath you, and pull the shins back towards the spine. Breathing in here. Find a steadiness and a consistency to this moment. And then exhale, release. As the hips find the floor, keep the shoulders where they are. Bring the big toe mounds together and let the knees splay open. Finding your Supta Baddha Konasana. Your heels can be close to your hips or they can be a little bit further away. Whatever feels better to you. Close your eyes and take a moment. Allow yourself to marinate in this space. As usual, feel your heartbeat reverberating through your body. Feel the breath bouncing around through your bones. Feel the physical quality of your breath as you lay here in stillness, knowing that you gave what you could, you did your best, and that's what matters. You're finding joy in your process each time out. You're finding a little bit of challenge with a little bit of grace, a little bit of ease, and that creates the joy, that creates it's the perfect mix, if you will. And you're always looking for your perfect mix, and the wonderful thing about it is it'll be different every single day, right? Some days you'll need a little bit more, grr. Some days you'll need a little bit more but either way, it's your world, and you're just doing your best to navigate that space with kindness, with compassion, and with love. Feel free to linger in the shavasana for as long as you need to. As always, y'all, it really is such a pleasure to share space with you here on YouTube. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Peace.